Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. And wow, we got an absolutely wonderful show coming your way today. And I tell you, a lot of times in life, if we continue to do the same thing over and over again, the results are going to be the same. And if it's a good thing that you're doing, I guess that's fine. But a lot of times, when we don't understand and we continue to do that because we don't want to change, we have all type of problems. But I believe that it's up to individuals to adjust and understand. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. But I can't do anything without talking to the executive producer, Dr. Michelle Cooley. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Oh gosh, we're back home. There is no place like home. That is a true statement. No place like home. Well, that's another story, but we're just excited about the show today.
I'm excited about this guest that you got on today, and I'm looking forward to it. And you're going to tell me who that guest is in a minute. But Todd, how are you doing, man? How you doing back in California?
I'm always good. I'm excited for today's guest.
I am too. I don't know what type of surprises Michelle got up her sleeve, but I tell you what, Todd, why don't
ready to lock in the radio station?
I want to lock in the radio and everything.
Hello.com. It's Your Life is sponsored by James J.C. Cooley.
Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello. Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I tell you what, just like Michelle had mentioned, we just got back from Atlanta, Georgia, and we're back home. And there is no place like home. And there is no place like just being around your surroundings and somebody in your house, your bed, all the things that you're used to. It feels good sometimes when you step away from that and you miss it and you can't wait to get back home. Kind of like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. And she had this, what's the dog name? Toto. So I tell you, and our dog is named Bella. So we're back. And I tell you what, I hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I hope everybody is locked into the show today because I think Michelle got a surprise for you. So how are you doing, Dr. Cooley? How you doing?
I'm doing great, James. I'm excited about this guest today. I'm excited about this topic. This is a very interesting topic, and our show is not going to do it justice, but we're going to hit on some high points with this amazing guest today.
Wow. I'm excited about the guest, and I tell you what, whichever platform that you're watching us on, whether it's E360 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube channel, and 6 to 8 other live platforms, streaming platforms. Welcome to the show. If you want to be part of the conversation, a couple of ways you can do that. You could go to the comments where you're watching us on and ask any questions that you might have, or you can pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. Michelle, please tell our viewers and our listeners the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this absolutely fantastic guest.
Oh, most definitely. So the title of today's show is Be the Change, Your Journey to Impact. And today's guest is the host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. And he's a retired Navy officer, entrepreneur, best-selling author, community activist, and motivational speaker whose primary focus is on youth development. His slogan is to dream big, think big, be big at everything you do. And he's got so many, things that he has done and continues to do. But we're going to talk about this specific topic, Be the Change, Your Journey to Impact. So he's going to discuss personal responsibility and empowerment, understanding your values, creating a ripple effect, mindset shift from awareness to action, personal growth, and continuous improvement. Welcome to the show, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. Wow. How you doing today, Michelle? How you doing?
We're doing great. Thank you for taking the time to be a guest on the show today. We know you're a very busy man and you're out there, not only speaking the words, but you're putting action behind everything you do. And that is so important, especially as it relates to this topic, Be the Change, Your Journey to Impact. So besides, and I know your biography is extensive, but in 1 minute, can you describe the best adjective that describes who you are and why you chose that adjective?
Perseverance. I believe that perseverance is being able to get up when you fall down and also refocus on the goals at hand. And I also believe that by doing those type of things, that help build character, that help build stamina, that help build confidence, courage, hope, belief, and most importantly, faith, birthrights. So perseverance is what I believe in.
I like that. The topic today is Be the Change, Your Journey to Impact. What does this specific title mean to you?
Well, I believe that many times in whatever we're doing, we're going to fail at times. And we're going to fall down. Or we fail and then we continue to do the same thing over and over again, thinking that you're going to get a different outcome. I believe that we have to, every time we fail, we have to refocus on tweaking whatever we're doing to come back to try to get a positive results other than just going doing the same thing 100 and 150 times, 200,000 times, because most people are afraid of change. Many are comfortable with where they're at. And if you're comfortable in your mindset, I believe it's locked in on whatever you have accomplished at that time. It might not be a whole lot. If you're locked in on that and you're resistant to change, I don't think that much is going to change ever. So I believe that the change had to come from the individual. The individual have to recognize that, hey, maybe I have not been doing it the right way, and maybe I have to do something different. And just like I said, many of us do not have the courage to change, or and we're afraid to take risks. So we rather stay on that same path continuously without doing anything. And knowing where that path is going to end, knowing where that road is going to end, nothing is going to change. Everybody have to be their own change agent. And so that requires mindset, a shift in mindset. That requires surrounding yourself or being around folks that can teach you or that you are willing to take advice from. And so I think all of these things are so important. And again, you have to be your own change agent.
I love that. Be your own change agent. So let's talk about personal responsibility and empowerment, specifically leading by example. So can you kind of go into that, Dr. Cooley, personal responsibility and empowerment, parentheses, leading by example?
Well, that's a very good question that you asked. Uh, I believe that just like I used adjective perseverance, uh, personal responsibility requires you as an individual to empower yourself, meaning that you should not have to wait on someone else to tell you to do something. I mean, why you didn't do it? You didn't tell me. That person, you got to be able to empower yourself and have an understanding that whatever I do, I have to be realistic goals. Realistic goals. You can't say, "Well, I'm gonna be president of the United States tomorrow." Well, that might not be realistic because everybody know it takes a couple of years. I'm talking about if you're in a position to compete for something like that. So, having realistic goals, being able to empower yourself, and also being able to listen to what others are saying. And
now, Dr. Cooley, I'm going to interrupt you just a second. You mentioned empower yourself. We've heard that phrase a lot of time from different people, but somebody who's not used to empowering themselves, can you kind of summarize how do you empower yourself?
wow, first of all, empower yourself is a change of mindset, right? Because I just put it like this, and not belittling anybody. If you used to just working a 9 to 5 on the clock, and say your job is working for an aerospace company, you in charge of the rivets that lock the airplane skin in the plane. So you in charge of making like 20 or 30,000 dollars, click, 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 making them. And if you see an idea that might make the process speed up or faster, empowering yourself, first of all, being able to have the confidence and courage to talk to your boss and say, oh, hey, I got this idea. This might help speed up the process because then you understand that you're a member of the team. Other than just saying that 9 to 5, I'm just looking at my watch. I'm just going to make these things because that's what they told me to do. So it's having the responsibility to also understand why you're doing that and what the purpose of the whole organization is doing. So empowering yourself, being able to ask the questions, tough questions of your boss, so that you can be a more valuable part of the team.
Wow. Before we go into break in less than 2 minutes, can you start by saying, why is empowerment through action so important? Because you have people out there say, I'm all this, I believe in this, I believe in that, but they're waiting for someone else to kind of light the match, and then they'll follow along instead of initiating it themselves. So do you want to think about that before we go into break or start that?
Well, I think we better go into break and then come back and you can ask that same question again. So I tell you what, our viewers and listeners out there, first of all, thanks for tuning in. And I'll tell you, if you got any questions that you might have, just go to the platform that you're watching us on, ask any questions. I promise you, I'll try to get you an answer. Or you can pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Dr. James JC Cooley. That's right.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
Using humor, wit, and engaging storytelling, James paints a picture about his arrival in a rural Deep South town and realization that life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Listen up. It's Dr. James JC Cooley. Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. And wow. What we're talking about today is be the change, because your journey will be impacted whether you change the path that you're on or stay on the path that you're on. I mean, it still impacts to everything that you're going to do in life and the decisions and the choice that you make in order to, everybody wants to be successful, I think, but you have to work for it. No one is going to give you anything. And the only person that could change anything that they're doing is you, the person that the impacts are going to affect. And a lot of times, just like I had mentioned, we have to be able to have an understanding where we see that some things might not be working like it's supposed to be. When whatever that is to the individual based on their vision, understanding, their focus, their intelligent level, and whether they are tired or lazy and don't want to do anything to stay on the same path. There's many out there like that. But you know, I just tell you what I feel. This is what I believe. This is what I think. This is how I feel. That's my motto for that. I'm gonna turn it back over to you, Michelle.
Yes, we know what your motto is. And, you're going to talk a little bit about that during this interview. So, empowerment through action is so important. Why is it that some individuals may wait for others to basically light the match instead of initiating the change that they feel is needed themselves? What are your thoughts about that? And how can those small, consistent actions lead to significant change?
Well, I mean, just like I said, you have to be the change agent yourself. A lot of people just want to follow. They don't ever want to lead. They don't ever want to do anything. They just want to be that simple person that just tell me what to do. I mean, just tell me what to do. Don't make me think about that. Just tell me what I need to do. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do anything else but whatever you tell me. And wherever they get their conversation, their news, or whatever, a lot of people are locked in on, hey, what? Well, the reason like that, so and so said this, so and so said that. So I mean, so and so said this. Okay, what do you think? I mean, what? I know everybody else saying it, but what are your thoughts? So my point is this: we can't always listen to what everybody say. You have to be able to understand that a lot of noise that's coming from everybody else, and if they're making the decision for you without any thought coming from you, most of the time it ain't the right goals and mindset, and you're not going to achieve a whole lot, but it's up to the individual.
Now, Dr. Cooley, you mentioned that people say, well, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that, I read this. Now, this is a question, part of educating yourself, right, is reading, right? Whether it's a book or the newspapers or watching the TV. So if someone starts a conversation with you and says, Dr. Cooley, James, JC, I read, or Joe Smith from this newspaper said A, B, C, and D. Do you think it's important that they're not telling you that they're telling you where they got their information, but they're also going to tell you what they think about the information that they researched? So you can always, and I guess my question to you is, yes, have and express your own opinion and don't go by what so-and-so always says. However, you still have to research whether it's the news, whether it's a newspaper, whether it's a book, whether it's social media. So someone could start the conversation with you, said, Dr. Cooley, I've read on the internet that, ABC is falling, whatever, out of the sky. However, this is how I feel about this information. So you have to get information first and then express how you feel. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, let me put it in a different perspective. Most people that tell you that they read something or so-and-so have said this or said that, more than likely, they ain't read nothing. They only listen to whatever they listen to and locked in on that. I believe that I believe in this theory called 87-10-3. And if you add those numbers up, it equals 100. And that's the world population. Doesn't matter where you are at. You and everybody else fall into one of those categories. And so let me explain, Michelle, and you understand that. Let's go with 87% of the world. 87% of the people in the world are average and ordinary and below. And they would do anything that anybody tell them to do. Or if somebody say, go do this, go do that. But without any thought. That's what they're gonna do because they're average, ordinary, and below, and they don't want to make no decisions. So those are 87 percenters. That's what they are, 87 percenters. 87 percenters is very unlikely that they could be a 10% because they're not going to do anything with whatever somebody tell them, their mindset. And they don't want to read, they don't want to get educated. I mean, many people, they don't want to do anything. Just tell me what to do. 10 percenters are people that I believe would go out, they would do some research, but they won't do it to the fullest. They'll do research and they understand that certain things have to be done. And these type of folks are more toward the manager, middle manager, platforms and organizations and stuff like that. And there are 10 percenters, but they got their own mind. You can tell an 87 percenter to pick up this chair, go outside, walk around the building 15 times, and bring the chair back in and put it over there. I mean, just so they would do that. And don't ask any questions, don't do anything because they've been told to do that. You can tell a 10 percenter to pick up this chair, walk around the building, 15 times, bring the chair back in, put it over there. And they're going to sit back and say, what? That does not make any sense to me. But a 10%, we're going to come back to them because they're going to argue with you about that. A 3%, and anything we're doing, just like I said, 87, 10, 3, each one of us fall into one of those categories. A 3%ers are the people that, they handle and they follow what we call the golden rule. You ask me, what is the golden rule, Michelle?
What is the golden rule?
Whoever had the gold rules. That's the golden rule. Mm-hmm. And they are the people that own the company that run, the 3%ers run pretty much most of the world because they have the money that go and they are able to control people. So most of the time, when it comes to folks, and change is what we're talking about in Journey Impact, is the 3%ers are own the companies, own this, and they're only concerned about profits. They don't care how you do it. Let's go back to the 10%. 10%, the 3% of the boss, whoever tell the 10% and walk around the building and do all this, and they're gonna argue with them, but they're gonna do it. But you come back to that, it's gonna be one person in the 10% gonna sit back because in order to understand, in order to make changes, you have to be able to ask the thing what we call why. Why? So most of the 10%ers are not going to ask that question. It's all going to be 1%ers. Now the 10%ers, it's a possibility they can become a 3%. 87%er, it's unlikely that they ever going to become a 10%. So you're going to have this one person in the 10% going to sit back and say, boss, well, what you asked me to do doesn't sound right. Just tell me exactly what you want done. He said, wow, what I want done is I want that chair to be over there. So you can pick the chair and put it over there because he asked why. So my point is this, and I know we got a break coming up, is in order for us to change, in order for us to do anything, we have to be able to ask questions. You have to ask the tough question, why? Why am I doing these things? Otherwise, if you lock in on the mindset and not knowing why you're doing it, nothing's going to change.
Most definitely. Well, we will continue with this conversation after the break.
I tell you what, I'm having fun. I'm having fun with this interview, and I tell you, looking forward to the second half of the show coming up. And whichever platform that you're watching us on, if you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. Pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. And we'll be back shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Craving a slice of Chicago right here in Temecula wine country? Then dive into legendary Chicago deep dish style pizza at Rosati's Pizza Pub. Piled high with gooey cheese, rich tomato sauce, and your favorite toppings, Rosati's delivers the taste of the Windy City right to your table or front door. Enjoy the cozy pub atmosphere and an impressive selection of Temecula wines. Come on down to Rosati's Pizza Pub for your slice of Chicago right here on Rancho California Road, or order online at myrosatis.com. Rosati's, where Chicago deep dish pizza meets Temecula charm.
Country boy.
Hello, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley from the United States of America, and I am here to just say, first of all, I'm so happy and honored to be honored to be in the Coffee Book 2023, Unified Brain Z and the other organizations. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to be a part of this collection.
You know, we live in a world today that people don't even care about how people see them. Don't realize that we can affect an entire generation and build our character. But you gotta do it with these 4 C's. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. It's the 4 C's. It's the 4 C's. In this life you are gonna grow, but there's things in this world that you gotta know. To be the best that you can be, you wanna grow real big into a strong tree. To be who you were created to be, the one who's gonna leave a legacy is you. But you got to have these 4 C's. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. Create, collaborate, then you commit with confidence. It's the 4
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right. Life. That's right.
Hello. Welcome back.
Cooley Show. It's your life.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life, and I tell you what, I am enjoying this. So Shell surprised me a little bit with this. I knew that I was going to be the guest, but I didn't know what didn't see any other questions or nothing like that she asked. And so all of this is new to me as well. So I tell you what, be part of the conversation, be part of the solution. Now, hey Todd, this is where you come in. I know you're listening. What are your thoughts on the show so far?
Well, I have to say you have a great guest on the show today. But in all actuality, it is a good show because, I can learn a lot from you. I can see why you're a motivational speaker and, your story and how you've gotten through adversity and overcome through so much stuff and been so successful in so many different fields. So this is a great show, and it's a great, for anybody listening out there, great motivational show.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna turn it back over to Michelle because as you see, she's drilling me. But I've been working out. I'm ready for the task. Dodge knee blows. So Michelle, it's back to you.
Thank you, James. So, understanding your values is so important in being the change you want to impact the world. Why is it important to identify your core values if you want to make that change?
Well, first of all, you have to have some values. Uh, if you don't have any values, it doesn't necessarily have to be core yet, because you have to develop, what you believe in and what you stand for. And just like I believe is perseverance, but I also believe in persistence as well, meaning that you have to be persistent about being successful. You have to want to be successful. You have to want to do these things. And so that means you have to be goal oriented. And by being goal oriented, you have to have some values that you live by and that you stand by, and that you're not willing to break, regardless of whatever the situation, as long as you're honorable and true to yourself. So core values come out of that, I believe, because you create your own core values, that this is the values that I live by. This is what I want to live by in life. And hopefully your core values are honesty, integrity, and ethical in what you choose, because that's what's going to guide you in any situation that you might find yourself in. So through adversity, through tragedy, through the good time, bad time, your core values, what you believe in, and how you react toward things, attitude wise, is what I believe is going to be necessary for you to think and get back on the right track if you're on the wrong track, or if you are grieving, and if you are having problems or issues. So my core values is perseverance. I'm locked in on things that I believe in, and I won't jeopardize those, because I have had an opportunity with experiences, or not keeping my word long time ago, or not doing the things that going to make you successful, or just following and listening to others that don't know what they're talking about, and you following them in the blind. So your core values, if you identify those, will not let you get caught up on that track.
Wow. So James, let's talk about mindset shift. You mentioned mindset in the first half hour of this interview. So how does a person get their mindset shift from awareness to what's going on and put it into action?
First of all, you got to know, you got two eyes and ears, mouth, just like everybody else. You have to have the understanding that something is not right, or you keep doing the same thing over and over again, ain't nothing happening, ain't no change. So understanding what, first of all, what is your goals? What do you want to achieve? What are you trying to achieve? Why aren't these things working? So mindset, you said how you shift. I believe that, just like I said, surround yourself or be around people that you trust and you believe. And that, I'm talking about trust, meaning that already might have been through some of the things that you might be going through. And listen to them. Listen to what they got to say. I'm not saying that every time you talk to somebody and listen to them that, whatever they say, you just reach over and just run and do it. You mentioned earlier, you listen to folks, listen to every word they're saying, but you have to do your research. So change your mindset. If you're not doing your research, you got to start doing some research. If you're not reading, you got to start reading. I mean, you got to do something. I mean, because everybody cannot just continue to be a shade tree mechanic. So what I mean by shade tree mechanic is, they're under the tree. They got the regular or the pro guys over here doing things. And, oh, I can do that for you. This is what you need to do. All of that crazy stuff. So your mindset have to, first of all, understand vision, understanding, and focus. And that means bringing other people in your life and taking some advice, but do your research to make sure that the advice that you decide to go with the decisions that you are looking for and the goals that you're trying to achieve or somewhere in that picture.
Dr. Sandra Stein, so she has a question. She says, great information here as always. Do you have a list or template or how to create their own core values for someone to do that? Like, I guess it's different for everybody, but do you have like a template or resources where a person may go to and how to create their own core values?
Well, I'm a leadership guy, and what I don't say that one template's gonna fit all. I pull the best of others that I read or that I mentor, and that's where I get my list from. Is because a lot of times you're around people, you run around some folks, you see them do great things. You have to have two bags, so you pull some of that stuff that you like and put it in the right bag. And sometimes you're around people that things that you don't like. You pull some of that stuff and put it in the left bag. And you do that through life. That's where your template comes from, because you're building up on that as you continue to gain experience. And when you find yourself in situations or circumstances where you in the leadership position now and you trying to do these things, and situations come up, and you find yourself listening to others or whatever, if you have learned from experience, you can always look in this bag, the good bag, and pull out some of the things that you experienced from other leaders to help you out. And when you find yourself acting like a non-leader, you look into that bag that you didn't like, and you can pull some of those things out and say, oh, no, I ain't never going to do that. And that's what we call a mindset shift, because if you gathering from your experience, you grow, you continue to grow, you continue to gain this thing in pursuit of this thing called wisdom, so.
Yes, and we got a couple minutes so before break, but I wasn't going to make a comment about doing your own research. Me and you do that. Like when you say something to me, I say something to you. We have our phone. We're like, let me see if this makes sense. So it's really interesting. Yes, do your own research, listen to people, but you don't accept everything as 100%. If you have any doubt, you just go and you just see and educate yourself. But we're headed to a break right now. We welcome you to comment on any streaming platform that you're watching the show, or contact the studio. What's that name? What's that number, James?
1-888-344-1170. So if you want to be part of the conversation, just pick up the phone and dial 1-888-344-1170. It's your life, and we'll be back shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many Black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many Black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
The J.C. Cooley Foundation.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC Cooley. Yeah. Come on.
The legendary Chicago deep dish style pizza at Rosati's Pizza Pub. Piled high with gooey cheese, rich tomato sauce, and your favorite toppings, Rosati's delivers the taste of the Windy City right to your table or front door. Enjoy the cozy pub atmosphere and an impressive selection of Temecula wines. Come on down to Rosati's Pizza Pub for your slice of Chicago right here on Rancho California Road, or order online at myrosatis.com. Rosati's, where Chicago deep dish pizza meets Temecula charm.
Dr. James JC Cooley. It's the James Cooley Show.
Wow. Oh, ain't nothing but a party, baby. Ain't nothing but a party. I tell you, I am thoroughly enjoying this, Michelle. You came up with a great topic today because you done heard pretty much all of my speeches, and And one of the things I always talk about is being the change. You got to be the change. You got to be the change inside of you. And you can't let others be the change for you. You got to deal with the consequences of whatever the situation or circumstance, good, bad, and indifferent. The consequences are sometimes are great consequences if we focus on the right thing and if we gather understanding from knowledge. If we gather understanding from knowledge is the sources that we read, we listen, we bring in, and it's a lot of different sources that we do in order to get the knowledge that we need. And once you get the knowledge that you need, you have to turn that knowledge into understanding. Understanding meaning action. When you come up with a plan, got to have a plan.
Oh, definitely a plan.
And knowledge comes from having a plan and knowing what you are trying to do. And then once you get that knowledge, turn into understanding. Understanding is action. Action on whatever the goal is at the end, the big goal, long term. So goals comes in three different things. You have long-term goal, which 3 to 5 years out. Midterm goal, which is up to a year. Short-term goals is immediately to 6 months. And anything that you do in life, it takes time if you want to get it right.
And we're going to get into that at this last segment. We're going to kind of focus on about, you being a change. People need to overcome their fear of failure, because failure happens. You're going to fail, at a lot of things in life. You really are. However, is embracing your mistakes and using them as learning opportunities. So what are your thoughts on recognizing your mistakes, because you don't know everything, but using it as a learning tool and learning to do things better, and as well as opening up opportunities? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, you mentioned something. You just brought it up. Every time you fail doesn't necessarily mean that you have total failed. Embrace failure, because the only way that you could be successful after you done fail, sometimes you're gonna fail 3, 4, 5, 100 times, many, until you get it right. But keep in mind, You can fail as many times as it requires until you get it right. So failure is, decision that you learn from. Falling down, you have to get back up. You learn from it. As long as you learn something, and as long as you don't make the wrong choice. I didn't say choice. Failure is the decision portion. You can make the wrong decision many, many times until you get it right, but you can't make the wrong choice. Case in point, if you walking down, you see a lot of, you see an alley over there, bully, pow, 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 pow. Sometimes logically you're like, oh, I ain't going to. Many people I want to see what's going on. This thing, boom. That's a bad choice.
Yes.
Decisions can be overcome through vision, understanding, and focus. So that's how I see it.
Well, Dr. Cooley, can you explain how to get the knowledge? This is Dr. Sandra's question. Would you explain how to get the knowledge for those who have not a clue on how to change? And we've got about 3 minutes before the end of the show. Can you kind of go into that?
Absolutely. I can only tell you how I do things. I can't tell you how others. I mean, I gain my knowledge, just like I mentioned, through not always getting things right, the first, second, third, through falling down. I don't want to call them failures. Falling down, retweaking, getting back up, and also asking for advice, asking others for, hey, what you think about this? How would you do this? How would you do that? How would you do that? So through asking others, through trial and error where you fail, and through sitting back, changing your mindset that you don't know everything. Obviously, you don't if you're failing. So you have to get the advice from people that you trust. So I think all of those things are so important in life, so important to achieving success, so important to understand that, yes, I'm not always going to get it right, but let's try to change our plan, change our mindset. Let's reach out to others that might know how to do it better than me, and just take their advice as consideration, because ultimately you have to figure out what you're doing and where you're going.
And Dr. Sandra has one more question and comment. She says she's learned to celebrate the failure because it's a stepping stone to move up from the failure. Can you share, and Dr. Sandra, we're pressed for time, but Dr. Cooley, can you share your experiences or what you've observed about moving upward from failure?
I learned just that I have failed many times, and I was in situation, circumstance, bad environmental, etc. And if I decided to stay in that situation after I had went through trials and tribulations many, many times and did not change my mindset to get away from that one, I would continue to fail. First of all, Dr. Sandra, the environment that a person might be in, mindset they might be in, they have to be able and willing to change something in there and seek out for advice.
Well, thank you. And we got a minute before closing. What are takeaways in 30 seconds or less you want to leave the audience?
Takeaway is I always be willing to change. Always understand that you don't know everything. Always be willing to reach out for advice, and always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do, and have realistic goals. I tell you what, the show is over. I had a wonderful, wonderful time. I hope you guys did as well. So I say, always dream big, think big, and be big. And you don't know everything, so reach out to others. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. I'd like to thank Todd, my producers back in Cali, for always being there, putting together great stuff. And most importantly, I'd like to thank you, the viewers and listeners. Again, always dream big, think big, and be big. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. It's your life, and we'll see you then.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James JC.
The Answer San Diego has gone interactive. Download our free app to get special offers, deals, and more than just status updates and pointless selfies from your smartphone.
Let's take a selfie.
Did you hear something that you want to weigh in on? Download the free The Answer app to instantly call or email the station straight from your mobile device. The app is social, making you the first to know and respond. Download the free app today. The Answer San Diego. The best.